goodbye to her parents at Bunnyborough train station. Her mother Bonnie and father Stu, though proud, don't hide their concern about the dangers of the big city. As a sign of their worry, they give her a fox defense kit, including repellent and alarms, reflecting age-old prejudices rooted in prey culture. The train ride gives Judy her first glimpse of Zootopia, a dazzling metropolis that surpasses her expectations. The city is ingeniously divided into climate districts that replicate natural ecosystems: Tundra Town with its frozen landscapes, Sahara Square with its scorching deserts, the Rainy District with its lush vegetation, and the Central Savannah with its golden grasslands. This revolutionary architecture allows animals from all habitats to coexist comfortably. Judy moves into a modest apartment in the Grand Pangolin Arms building, where she discovers that city life differs from her romantic expectations. Her neighbors are outrageously noisy, with walls so thin that she can hear every conversation. The imagined glamour contrasts sharply with the reality of her tiny, claustrophobic apartment. The next day, she arrives promptly at Police District 1, ready to fight crime. However, she discovers that all her colleagues are enormous animals: rhinos, buffalo, tigers, and bears, who regard her with skepticism. Chief Bogo, an imposing Cape Buffalo, calls the morning meeting where he assigns cases. Bogo reveals that the mayor has ordered the search for 14 mysteriously vanished predators to be prioritized, generating public concern. He begins assigning missions to his experienced officers. When it's Judy's turn, she leans forward expectantly, but Bogo deliberately ignores her, moving on to the next officer. Finally, Bogo informs her that she will be working as a traffic officer issuing parking tickets. This task, considered the most degrading in the department, demonstrates that the chief doesn't trust her abilities. Judy protests passionately, but Bogo remains inflexible, setting a quota of 100 tickets per day. Accepting the challenge, Judy transforms her disappointment into motivation. Using her agility and knowledge of the regulations, she navigates the city with impressive efficiency. Its size allows it to maneuver between vehicles and detect violations that larger officers would miss. By midday, it had issued more than 200 tickets, far exceeding its quota. Before the end of her shift, Judy notices a red fox named Nick Wilde and a small fennec fox named Finnick, disguised in a scout uniform, acting suspiciously near Jumbo's Cafe, an elephant ice cream parlor. Her police instincts kick in, and she begins to follow them. Upon entering, she witnesses Nick trying to buy a giant ice cream for his son. However, the elephant shopkeeper flatly refuses, displaying prejudice against foxes, and orders them to leave. Seeing Finnick cry because of the discrimination, Judy intervenes, threatening to fine him. The vendor nervously agrees to pay Nick for health violations. When Nick goes to pay, he dramatically discovers he's forgotten his wallet. Touched, Judy pays for the ice cream with her own money, feeling she's fighting against unfair discrimination. Later, while issuing tickets, Judy notices something disturbing. Nick and Finnick are melting ice cream in the Sahara Square sun and pouring the liquid into small jars. Intrigued, she follows them to Tundra Town, where she discovers the truth. They use the liquid to make tiny ice creams that they sell to executive rodents. When the rodents discard the sticks, Nick and Finnick collect them to resell as premium lumber. Nick splits the profits with Finnick, who reveals his deep voice, and Judy realizes that the kid is actually an adult participating in the scheme. Judy confronts Nick, ordering him to stop. However, Nick arrogantly replies that he hasn't broken any laws, taking the opportunity to insult her by saying she'll never be a real police officer, just an idealistic bunny handing out tickets. These words deeply wound Judy, and the next day she can't concentrate, feeling that perhaps everyone was right about her limitations. Even so, the routine continues, and Judy patrols diligently, though her spirit feels fragile, vulnerable, silently wounded. She remembers Gideon's words, her parents' advice, and the incredulous looks of some colleagues inside the central precinct. Nevertheless, she clings to the uniform, the badge, and the code she swore to uphold. She observes the streets, notes new infractions, talks to small business owners, and maintains her professional composure. Each footstep echoes on the asphalt. Each glance strengthens her resolve. Though she hesitates, she recalls her childhood promise on stage, the engraved phrase she always repeated: anyone can be anything. And Judy decides to uphold that truth against all odds. She vows to improve, to train more rigorously, to study every article, every protocol, every procedure again. The city continues to throb. Zootopia vibrates. Its districts shine diverse, complex, unpredictable. Judy takes a deep breath, raises her gaze, and continues patrolling with renewed determination, remembering that being a police officer also demands emotional resilience, unwavering patience, and unyielding conviction. Silently, she reaffirms her mission, her calling, her identity. The little